So they call this actually the other Pompeii.
This whole area is completely open to just wander around and explore.
This one went out with a whimper. Pompeii went out with a bang.
Welcome to the Vatican.
Let's go to the Colosseum.
Can't believe that we started the day in Toronto and now we're about to go in there.
If there's any place in the world that's haunted, it's this place.
Really, really cool.
People say this is the most important piece of real estate in Western civilization because this was the heart of the Roman government. How's the holy water taste?
Good taste.
If you took just one block of Florence and put it in Toronto, people would come from across the country to see it.
I have no idea where we are.
Getting struck by lightning for saying inappropriate things. One that got me zapped was saying the Pope's got to man up a little bit. I will ask for forgiveness. What's in the box? There's actually a head in the box and the whole body of the Pope. So you could probably hear the roar of the crowd right from this spot. This city is really cool and it's really big. And I can't say enough about it. The Renaissance began right here. This is the birthplace. Welcome to the baths, and this is the toilet part of the baths. Come on in. You'd kind of pick your throne, have a seat, have a chat, and do your business. This is quite literally, for the Catholic Church anyway, the top of the world. So welcome to Ostia Antica. This is a city that was built 600 years before Christ, and about 400 years before Christ, Rome, which is just down the road, got the idea, maybe we'd like to have this little city. So this is the very first city that Rome conquered. It is the first colony, and from there, Rome got the idea that, hey, I like this conquering stuff, and look where it led them. So this was a port city, and the river actually shifted. And what happened was the silt from the river covered the whole town. So they call this actually the other Pompeii. This one went out with a whimper. Pompeii went out with a bang, with a volcano. But this city is really cool and it's really big. And I can't say enough about it. It's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen.
So this is a really cool view from one of the tops of the apartment buildings here. So starting out here, you could have seen where the water was, and then these were all the warehouse complexes. Past this was where the commercial center was with all the stores. Further down was the necropolis. Across the street was where the Roman baths, the public baths were. And then on this side was where the forum was, along with the main temples in the town.
We're like a kilometer into the city and everywhere around us are ruins. It's amazing. This was a town of 60,000 people and everything is still here.
We just came across this hut that actually has the painting still on the wall, just in the middle of nowhere. It's crazy.
The very fact that there's a column in front of this home probably means that it was a wealthy man who built it. Now, the other surprising thing about this home was that it was built when this town was ancient, 1,000 years after it was founded. Believe it or not, that was in 600 AD. Now, check this out. Another clue that this was a wealthy home. This sewer grate. Take a look. Look how ornate this is.
What's really amazing about this place is that although we visited gorgeous monuments like Angkor Wat and various religious buildings, the really cool thing about here is there's a connection to our culture and everyday life. You see apartment buildings and schools and homes of wealthy people and taverns, and for example, this is a mill, and seeing how people lived their everyday lives is pretty cool.
We're in a bar in Ostia Antica, and the guidebook says that one of the things about it is it's a lot like a modern bar. So right over here is where they would store the booze, and they would serve the booze up from back over there. If it sounds loud, obviously you can see there's a big tour group in here, and that's why it sounds like a bar. Once you get loaded and you got to take care of business, there's the bathroom right in there. And back out here is the courtyard, so you sit out there with your mates and have a few pints. In the back of the cafeteria, there's a little bit of lawn space with all these crazy things, and the craziest of them all was this Roman toilet. I believe this is the case that People would sit here, they would socialize, they would read things, and they would pass the time while they were taking care of their business. So here we are, doing the same thing 2,000 years later. Take a look at this. So we're really off the beaten path in here. Someone made their own door. I don't know why this whole place is full of doors. What's amazing is the size of the walls here. This was engineered to last. You can see how thick that was. So all the walls are still here. It's the roofs that are all gone, and I guess they were made of wood, and they were the first things to go. But talk about over-engineering, and talk about making good neighbors. With the walls this thick, you couldn't hear anything.
So we're here at the theater at Ostia Antica. I think it's one of the oldest brick theaters still standing. And just to the right, what's really cool about that is it's the square, the old commercial square. And then on the sidewalks in front of each building has a mosaic of what was actually sold in each store.
There's so much impressive about this town, like the front of the theater behind me, but I gotta tell you, one of the most impressive things are, take a look at this. These are the paving stones that stretch across the whole town and through all the avenues. They've been here for more than 2,000 years and they're worn smooth, and I gotta say, this road actually looks a little better than the road that we live on in Toronto.